What's up, everyone? I'm Redtail, and this is the drive home. Tonight was a bigger night. It was 46th birthday, and as much as that is bleeped out, if you're in Melbourne or know of the club scene in general in Australia, you might be aware of what location I was working at tonight. And because it was its 46th birthday, it wasn't like it was just what I generally would get there on a Friday night or on a Saturday night. It's like, on one end of the spectrum, fresh faces, like 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds. And on the other end of the spectrum, like 70-year-olds. It's like, wow. It was an absolute clusterfuck of an organisational evening. There was only one DJ on the main stage for the entire night. There was literally zero to minimal communication from my perspective, from their management and operators to our supervisors and operators. Because when it was time to close certain rooms, things were just being done and lights were being turned on, music was being turned off. And I personally and other bouncers were not being asked to officially shut these rooms. So we had to run around asking, what's happening here? Is this room being shut, or is this staying open for guests, but we're just not serving alcohol on them anymore? Like, what's the GO with this? I've never experienced that. But to quote Patrick Swayze, tonight was a majority of the night was a bunch of 40-year-old adolescents. I had one guy that was getting up in my face because I had reminded his girlfriend that this wasn't one of the events that you can just go into any bathroom, like it was male-female specific toilets tonight. And I didn't even say to her, you're leaving now, it's time to leave. I had just reiterated, hey, you can't do this on tonight. It's not one of the other evenings where it's unisex toilets. And he starts getting up in my face and putting his finger right up in my face. And I reiterate not only to her but to him, that was not what I was saying. I'm not being aggro. I'm going to need you to step back and stop being aggro to me, because you're now becoming threatening to me. And it looks like you're about to, like, what's going to happen here? Like, what's your overall goal? And his what he was saying was, I can do whatever the fuck I want, she can do whatever the fuck she wants, she's not hurting anyone, you're not going to be able to stop me even if you tried. Finger up in my face. And I tell you what, he would have thought that bitch was breaking. He dropped to his knees that fucking fast. He would have thought that thing was being ripped off. You can't see it now as well, especially because of the lighting and because it's several hours ago now. But there was a big handprint across my face when his girlfriend started to slap the shit out of my face. Was it painful? Yeah. Was it annoying? Yeah. Was it doing any damage? No. So they had to leave because he was getting in my face. Essentially asked him multiple times, hey, dude, don't do that. Don't get up in my face. Get back from me. Get your finger down. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I'm going to have to rip that thing off now. And of course, because in essentially everything, you can't even scratch your nose in there without it being seen. So just straight away, it was like, get up to mezzanine right now, Dill needs help. I had another guy as well that just out of nowhere, as I'm walking past the main bar downstairs towards one of the bathrooms, just out of nowhere, just shoulder checks me, I turn and look at him, it's like, you good, bro? Just shoves me straight away. And then is shocked when I, boom, straight in the face with my right hand. He's like, oh my God, I did it. And he says, wait, I didn't even realize who you were. Like, he completely didn't realize I was a bouncer. He just thought I was another dude. Straight away. He stops because he's like, fuck, I thought you were someone else. On the radio straight away, it's like, I need help. Right side of the main bar downstairs, I've just been assaulted by someone, and I've just given him a whop for as well. We need to get him the fuck out of here before he decides he's going to do it to another random dude. And he was apologising all the way out, saying, I didn't realise you were who you were. I thought you were someone else. I was looking for someone else. And that's what I was saying to him. The fact that you are going out of your way to look for someone to do that to is why we cannot have you in this establishment. We can't, because you're just an absolute hazard to all the patrons, to us, which you've just shown, and also potentially the bar staff. So what the fuck did he think was going to happen? Every time someone gets shoulder checks me, with any other bouncer, like, it's not just, I have to speak about me because this is what I do, but other bouncers that I work with, it's like, what do people think is going to happen when you shoulder check them and you don't apologise? You're going to get fucking hurt. I was quite surprised, actually, that despite them majority of them being in their 40s and onwards for that evening, majority of them when they're in their 40s and 50s, that all of them complained when they were told no. It's like, what? You grew up in my parents' generation. Your parents actively thrived on using the word no, or a variation of it. No, you can't go behind the bar. Why not? Why? Because I fucking said so, and it's a hazard, because you don't work here, you don't know what you're doing. No, you can't stand on that table. Why? Because you're drunk, and you're wearing heels, and you're going to break your neck if you fall off. No, I won't. Yes, you will. It's like, I like to say that I'm an underpaid childcare worker and an underpaid therapist, because that's essentially what it boils down to. When people get too drunk, they become children, and when girls get too drunk, they get weepy and they start spilling all their secrets about how they're upset in their relationship. Oh, fuck. And the weekend's not over. Today I've got then, when I go back to they've got their red rave on, which they'll definitely need me for that. But it's over, and hopefully McDonald's has their drive-thru open. Last week they didn't for some reason, and I'm a bit pissed off because I didn't like just having orange juice when I got home. I wanted Fanta. Ooh, didn't know there was a pothole there on this side of the road. Hey. All good though. No real scratches on me, except my pride being bitch slapped several times while I was putting a wrist/finger lock on that dude, and his girlfriend started beating me over the head. Rightio. Catch back tomorrow. Okay, it is now a very mild Sunday morning, sitting at 25 degrees still. I definitely know it's not any colder than that, and it's definitely not going to get any warmer than that either. It's all downhill for the rest of the week here, temperature-wise, and then it picks up again come next weekend, which is really fun because heat brings out the best in people when they're drinking alcohol. So tonight I only had to work. I went over and they said, probably the most we'd be able to give you is like 1.5, 2 hours. And I said, nope, don't worry about it. So I just stood out the front for a little bit, just shot the shit with a couple of the other guards. There's a couple changes that have happened administrative-wise at my company. We lost a venue, a big one as well, like a 12-guard deal sort of thing. So not a 9 to 12 guard sort of thing. So it's a big loss. There's been some alleged heavy-handedness, which I don't deny. I definitely don't deny that. It's commonplace in security and or police and or armed forces. Sometimes is necessary, sometimes isn't necessary. It's not for me to decide though. There's only really one major thing that happened was there was a bussy from upstairs as he was walking, he's either walking downstairs or upstairs when he called them. They were going to the disabled bathroom to have a boink session, and he walked back past. The idiots had forgotten to lock the door, and he pulled it back just to see what was going on. He's come upstairs, he's like, yo, there's not two guys, but he's like, there's a guy and a girl having a session in there. It's like, really, dude, why are you making me do my job? I don't want to do my job. So I go in there. I have to go in there and essentially, because it's a slide door, so end up knocking on it once, saying, all right, that's enough, guys, security, get out, you can't be fucking in there. And then they don't listen, so I'm standing there for maybe another 4 minutes. It's like, man, how long is this guy actually going to last? Like, this guy's got some good, got some longevity on him. And because I waited there that long and it just pissed me off, just started kicking on it. He starts getting annoyed. He's like, bro, what are you doing? I'm only, it's like, she's in here having a pee. And it's like, man, the fact that, one, you're in a disabled toilet, you don't need to use it. Two, there should not be two people in here unless one of you is a carer and you're both not disabled, although you're acting like it. The thing that he didn't like that I started to say was like, well, okay, so she's having a pee, so why are you in here? Are you drinking her pee? It's pretty obvious, man. Like, you're in here plowing her, so you can get out. It's like, what? And he's looking at me, oh, I wasn't. It's like, man, I know you were. A bussy just came and told me that you were. Now get out. It's like, oh, one little bit of power, isn't it? It's all it takes, one little bit of power. It's like, what? What do you think, that I'm not allowed to enforce the venue's rules? This is the powers that have been given to me by the venue. I can kick you out for breaking their rules. Now get out. He hated it. He was complaining out. I was inside at the time when this was happening, when he was complaining this further bit. But he was complaining to my boss. So you're gonna speak to him about that? You're gonna get him in trouble for that? And my boss came and spoke to me. It's like, look, this is what happened. I didn't go in off my own intelligence. There was someone else that told me, that gave me the intel, and I just acted upon it. Like, in what position did that bussy have a reason to lie? No, he didn't. And I guess the reason that was a bit more, like, sort of a bit jumped on and wanted to bite down on what I had done, or the way I'd spoken to them, is like, oh, it was too rough. It's like, what did they expect was going to happen? They're breaking the venue rules. Like, I have to enforce it. Like, if you don't want the venue rules enforced, don't employ us. And he knew where I was coming from. He's like, you know, you're right. You're right what you're doing. It's unfortunately everyone is such a pampered prince and or princess these days. They can't take it. And even when you're being heavy-handed in the correct way, in the correct context, they will still cry and whinge about it, and they'll still go to the venue or AVC about it. I didn't mention, there was one thing I didn't mention last night with what I was recording. It was a chick on ketamine, and the K-hole she was in was hilarious. Like, we went up to her, she was sort of like standing there all zombied out. If you've ever seen someone on ketamine, as soon as you try and start talking to them and trying to start getting them to think, their brain goes all weird. So she goes from standing there to, like, she starts crouching, and her leg goes out, and one of her legs goes out sort of like almost in a split motion, and her hands start doing like this weird, like, and just starts, her face goes fucking bonkers as well. It's like, oh god, we've activated the K-hole, we are here. I wish I could demonstrate the motion, but I can't. I'm sitting down and I don't want to crash into any other vehicles. I was glad I was working outside tonight. There was way too cold inside. They turned the AC. It's either the AC is off or the AC is all the way up. It's like, I'm more than happy to work in probably the ideal temperature for me, that I say anywhere in between the high 20s to mid 30s is really nice. I like that sort of temperature. But as soon as it goes above mid 30s, that's when it's okay. If there's no wind coming through and it's just sitting there and it's really humid, no, get me out of here. I don't want this anymore. But tonight was really good. It probably sat like 27 degrees, 25 degrees the entire night. Perfect. Lovely. The twins, however, behind the bar, were not loving it, especially considering one of them had to work in the kitchen for the first 2 hours he got there. It's like, that would have been hot as. It would have been like an oven. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll just be at now, because, as I said, there's now 9 to 12 guards that have been displaced from a venue. There has to be a lot of shit that has to be worked out now where they're gonna go, because I think a few of them are full-timers that work with him all the time, whereas I'm still considered only a part-timer / casual. So it really is, it's unfortunate saying that they do get first bite of the cherry. I hope I'm not moved off that door. I really like working with the people there. Not only the guards, but the regulars that come in, the patrons, and also the guys that work behind the bar. It is a hoot and a half when you get a second to talk to them. It is quite fun. But it isn't for me to decide. Me thinking about it and worrying about it isn't going to change if I get moved to a different venue or not. And also, this does provide an opportunity either A, for further training, culling of the ranks of the bad apples, or acquiring new venues that are either more upmarket or lower market. Because if he wants to just put all the bad apples in a beer barn where they can just punch on with everyone, great. And if they want to cull the ranks to only having the good guys there, even better, so we can get some more upper echelon places. Again, I want to reiterate, this is not for me to decide. That is well above my pay grade. It's just me spitballing and a couple thoughts that at the round table that the two other guards that and I had at the end of the shift. I think that's all I have to say this week as well. I'm going to cut the video here. I just want to chill out because it is roasting. It's pretty warm in here at the moment because I don't have the windows down so I can record this. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Hit that subscribe button if you want to watch any more of my other videos. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya!